Hi everyone, this story is called Bread the Pilot. It was a sunny day in Foodland and Bread was in the park flying his model aeroplane. Milk was there too. He was practicing his famous magic tricks. Milk loves magic. P was close by. He was flying his kite and having lots of fun. P could see that Bread's model aeroplane was flying towards his kite. Any second now there could be a crash. "Look out!" called P. "Help! Help!" said Bread. "My remote controls aren't working. The plane's got a mind of its own." P shut his eyes. He couldn't look. Milk spotted the problem and quickly held up his magic hat. "Watch this," he said, and the model plane avoided collision with the kite and flew straight into the magic hat and disappeared. "Well done, Milk," smiled P gratefully. "But where did my plane go?" asked Bread. Milk had that lost look on his face. "Oh no, not again!" Milk had previously lost Bread's model aeroplane before. Now it was really lost. Oops! Milk looked inside his magic hat, but it was nowhere to be seen. Bother! Poor Bread. Now what was he going to do? "You and your silly magic tricks," he scowled to Milk. "You are always losing my things." Milk felt terrible. Just then, a real aeroplane flew overhead, and it was carrying a banner. At the end of the banner was another plane, but this one was really tiny. Milk had to use his binoculars to get a closer look. "It's your model aeroplane," he said. "It's attached to the end of that banner. Here, look for yourself." Both Bread and P looked through the binoculars. "How did he get up there?" asked P. By magic, of course," replied Milk. "Look, the plane's about to land at the airfield. Come on, let's go and retrieve Bread's model aeroplane." The Foodland airfield wasn't far from the park. Bread, Milk and P quickly ran to meet the plane, which had landed safely on the runway. "Hello, welcome to Plain Flowers Flying Academy," said the pilot. "Can I help you three at all?" "Yes, actually," smiled Bread. "My model aeroplane is attached to the end of your banner. Can I have it back, please?" "Of course," replied the pilot, who was looking a little bit confused. "How did it get there?" "Magic," interrupted Milk. "Ah, I see," said the pilot, who was still looking rather puzzled. "I see you like flying model planes, Bread. Have you been inside the cockpit of a real plane?" he asked. "No, I haven't. But one day I hope to become a pilot, just like you." "Why don't you come and have a look inside the plane?" said the pilot, who was very kind and allowed Bread to sit in his seat. "How do you fly a plane? And what do all these buttons do?" he asked curiously. "When we take off, we push this lever forward and press this button, which starts the engine and the propellers. We need to build up speed down the runway in order to take off. So we push the lever forward even further before pulling the steering wheel back towards ourselves. That gives us the lift we need to get our wings off the ground. And away we go." "But what happens in an emergency? What happens if something happens to the pilot in midair?" asked Milk. "Well, first thing you do is take control of the steering. Put on the headset and calmly speak to the control tower. They will help guide you through the process of landing the plane safely. In order to speak to the tower, you must press the amber button. They will pick up your transmission straight away. Luckily, that's never happened to me before," joked the pilot. "Now, Bread, would you and your friends like to go for a quick flight over Foodland with me?" "Yes, please," they said happily. They were all soon strapped into their seats with their headphones on. Bread was in the passenger seat next to the pilot. "Here we go!" They took off from the runway and were soon flying high in the sky over Foodland. Looking out through the plane's windows, they could see the park, as well as Hot Dog High School, Mr. Beast's farm, and Saucepan Castle. "This is amazing," smiled Bread happily. But then there was big trouble. The pilot suddenly fell ill and fell asleep at the controls. The plane began to nosedive. "Ah! Help! Quick, Bread! Grab the controls!" shouted Milk. So Bread bravely moved the pilot and grabbed the controls. He pressed the amber button and spoke to the control tower. "Bread to tower! Bread to tower! We have an emergency! Come in!" he said. "We can hear you, Bread," came the response. "Now, we will guide you back to the ground. Now listen carefully." "Okay," he said calmly. Listening to the instructions, Bread pulled the plane back up from its nosedive and levelled it out, before calmly and carefully landing the plane back on the runway. He did it! What a hero! On the runway, Bread was greeted with lots of cheers and celebrations. The pilot was taken to hospital and soon made a quick recovery. When he heard what Bread had done and saved everyone in the plane, he offered Bread the chance to join the Flying Academy and learn to become a real pilot. Now, how cool is that? Amazing! Well done, Bread. And that's the end of the story. Hope you enjoyed it. See you again next time.